So here's a strength training method of calculating percentages, a concept that's going to help you get stronger, not get as beat up in a weight room, and not get frustrated because you can't hit your percentages. So check this out so you can plug it into your programming. So check this out, like a lot of people will calculate their, I would say their strength training, their weightlifting off of percentages. And I found that to be very, very challenging, especially with, I mean, not even just general population, but even athletes, because life happens, right? You don't get a good night's sleep, kids are up, you have to work extra long, and now you're fatigued. And we know that, if you don't have a great night's sleep, for example, it can reduce your performance by, 25%. So you can have days where your performance fluctuates plus minus 25% each way, which means that sometimes, your percentages are going to be too light because you could have went heavier, and sometimes they're going to be too heavy and you're going to feel like you can't lift any of that. It becomes frustrating. So this is a concept I learned from my friend Eric Cressey a long time ago, the above 90% principle. And it goes for especially bigger lifts, for like lower rep ranges in strength. This is where we really kind of work this. So thinking that, up to 6 rep range, and I'm going to whiteboard some examples for you. So pretend that like, a trap bar, by the way, I'm not going to go all the way up to really, really heavy weights today, but if I was going to go and warm up, and for instance, my warm up sets in let's say today in our program, it'll be 4 sets of 3, okay? So 4 sets of 3 is what we've programmed. Okay, and I will show you what that 90% concept looks like. So I'm going to ramp up. So I might start with 155. Right, get a couple of reps, because remember our warm-up reps, we're going to do less, right? We're going to do 2 to 3 reps, quality reps, pretending like it's heavy. Then I'd stack on some weight. Again, I'm going to whiteboard. I'm not going to go all the way up, but I'm going to whiteboard ramp up sets and then working sets, right? So we do another warm-up set for 2, and we'd go up. So, for example, let's say in our warm-up sets, 135 for 3. Then we'd go 225 for 2. From there, because I know that these are, again, pretty light loads for me, then we might go 285 for 1, 335 for 1, and then we'll start going like, okay, this is starting to get into kind of like challenging sets. For example, right? So I'd go 385 for 3, 405 for 3, 425 for 3. I felt that was pretty heavy, so I finished with 435 for 3, okay? Now all of these right here are ramp up sets, right? Ramp up, warm up, okay? Think about this. So this is our top set for the day. Again, the way that I like to do my top set is like, it's not maybe you had, I would say, enough left in the tank for 1 more rep, maybe, right? What is over 90% of 435? So about 395, okay? About. So 395, that's 90% around about of my best for that day. So what above 90% principle means that everything above 395 counts as my set. So 405 counts, 425 counts, and definitely 435 counts. Which means at this point in time, we have 3 sets of 3. So that was really heavy. I don't want to do that again. I'm pretty smoked, so I'm going to go back down to 405 and hit that again for a triple. Right, so I'm going to hit 405 for another triple, and that gets me to 4 sets of 3. Why is this model and method so good? Because the next week, maybe you came off of a travel week. You had more workload, more stress, and so on and so forth. And next week, the best set is 405 times 3. That's your top set. That's what you work up to that day. It's what you got, right? Well, what's 90% of 405 is about 365, okay? So now anything over 365 will count as your working sets, right? Because we're working on strength. So these strength, I would say sets and reps, right? 4 of 3, 3 of 3, 4 of 5, right? 5 of 2. Again, we could go down the line, 5, 3, 1, whatever it may be. But now we can actually calculate and go on that day, that your best for that day, what is it? And let's count what's over 90% of it. That's been such a good programming method where, again, the frustration doesn't kick in. We still have some rules, and over time you're going to get stronger because we're stimulating that nervous system to, again, create a lot of force. But we're not locked into these percentages, these arbitrary percentages that don't take into account our life, our nutrition, our sleep, our stress, maybe volume that's built up, whatever else it may be. And again, this helps you win, helps you still develop strength and have good rules for it. So in your programs, start using, I would say this, over 90% principles of anything up to that. Again, that 6 rep-ish range is where I like using it to. Beyond, once we go into those muscle building hypertrophy ranges, we're not paying attention to that as much. All right, but in this is a great concept. So plug it in. And for more tips like this to improve your strength, performance, look, feel, perform like an athlete, make sure you follow this channel.